The White House has insisted that Donald Trump's plan to freeze federal funding remains in full force, despite cancelling an order to government departments about the halt. The press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, has said that the White House's Office of Management of Budget rescinded a memo ordering for the freeze to end any confusion. This after a federal judge halted the order shortly before it was to take effect. Now, Trump's decision to freeze funding for federal aid programs could disrupt education, healthcare, poverty alleviation programs, housing assistance, disaster relief and several other initiatives that depend on federal dollars. Meanwhile, Trump has also announced that any government employee who fails to turn up in person for work by the 6th of February will be fired. This is the president has been pursuing a purge in the federal workforce of officials who have been deemed unsupportive of his agenda.
As federal employees, they must meet a high standard. They're representing our government, they're representing our country. If they don't agree by February 6th to show up back to work in their office, they will be terminated, and we will therefore be downscaling our government, which is something that the last 10 presidents have tried very hard to do but failed.
Now, in the latest in his flurry of orders, Trump has signed an executive order to combat anti-Semitism that targets pro-Palestinian activists, including many student protesters who protested against the Israeli war in the Gaza Strip. Now, the order has instructed the federal agencies to explore ways to deport their resident aliens, such as students who have a valid visa who had taken part in pro-Palestinian protests against the war. The department and agency leaders will be required to provide recommendations to the White House within 60 days. Now, the order instructs the Department of Justice to investigate what has been described as pro-peace or pro-Hamas graffiti and intimidation, including incidents on college campuses. It also allows for the cancellation of student visas of those who took part in the protests, and by doing that, according to the Trump administration's policy, broke law during the protests. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.